What is good, guys? Welcome back to Behind the Dugouts for your match review of Chelsea 4, Wrexham 2. And I ain't going to lie, man, I feel dirty. I feel dirty. I feel like I need a shower. I feel like someone's going to be knocking at my door in a minute because I do feel like we've robbed something here. 100%. So before we even talk about Chelsea, and yes, of course, the result, most important, we through to the next round, we're into the quarters, we've done what is expected of us to do. And we'll talk about how we done it a little bit later in the video. But first, we've got to give our flowers to Wrexham, man, or at least I will. They played superb. On the pitch, players were superb. Management decisions were superb. Fans, brilliant. The noise that they were making. It was a superb performance. And to be honest, I do feel like they were really unlucky to not get to penalties. It was really unlucky. The red card for me that they did get was 100% a red card. It was a dangerous, reckless challenge. The speed that he was coming at, where he made contact with the player, if he made any more considerable contact, that's a broken leg. So for me, it is a red card, but it is unfortunate when it happened because it was very back and forth with the game, and potentially with 11 players on the pitch, they could have maybe got a result, maybe got us to penalties. But of course, it didn't happen. We won 4-2 in the end. But Wrexham, fair play, like 100% massive respect on you. And they showed that maybe they can go toe-to-toe with some of the Premier League's finest teams. Not to say that we are the finest. It was a Hollywood dream that was ended by a Chelsea nightmare. And nightmare, not because we haunted the dreams and the Wrexham players are now going to be going to bed, sleep at night, wishing they don't have to see these Chelsea players again. It was a nightmare in terms of a performance. And I can already hear some of you sitting in the back going, oh, don't be a hypocrite. You say the performance doesn't matter. The result is all that matters. Yes, okay, that's very true. And I have said it many, many times. The result is the most important. However, it's my channel. And if I want to change my mind, I'm going to change it. Today, the performance was shocking, bar a few individuals that at the end of the day got us the result. But it was all over the place, man. And we still, and look, I didn't expect it to change overnight, but we're still suffering from set pieces. We are still shocking from corners, defending corners, throwing. We just can't do it. I don't understand what goes through the players' minds when they're defending this, what instructions they are actually getting, because it's not working and we still look awful. And we're conceding goals from them. And we were saved today by the fact that the player's big toe was too far. Otherwise, it would have gone 3-3 and it probably would have gone to penalties at that point, or even a Wrexham winner. But look, the performance today, it wasn't the greatest. Not even in the slightest. We struggled to string too much together. We struggled to break them down. You can see, and it's probably part of the factor that we played so many players that haven't played together that much. It was a very changed side, which some people can say, it's on Rosinia, the lineup wasn't that great, and that's why we got not a great performance. However, being that we've had a tough game against Aston Villa, and then we've got PSG midweek, there has to be an opportunity where we can rest some of these players for these bigger games. And we should have enough, and we do have enough to beat a Wrexham team, even with the fringe or the B team players, because there was still, Garnacho played against Aston Villa, who for me was another good game from him. Not world beater, but good. It was consistently, he played well against Villa, he played well again today. So he's building up that consistent. But there were still players that had played the Villa game that were on the pitch. And there's still players like the Joshes and things like that I rate quite highly, and a lot of you rate quite highly, that were on the pitch. So there was enough there, 100% enough there to do the job. We made it very, very difficult for ourselves. Very difficult. We've gone into extra time, which we could definitely do without. We've also had to bring on the likes of João Pedro, who turned his quality on at the end and just ran through and slotted it home, brings up his goal tally again. I mean, the guy is untouchable at the moment. What a player he is. But we had to bring him on because we had to salvage the performance, the way that the players were playing. Part of the reason for me why in attack it was a little bit lackluster, I think Pedro Neto was over trying. He was trying to take everyone on. He was trying to do everything himself, which I get, because of the team that he was coming up against, a championship side. He should show his quality. He should show his level, being at Chelsea, being in the Premier League team. So he was over trying. But one of the things that I think really nullified us a little bit is there was no link between the defensive midfielders and the front attackers, because usually what we would have is have a pivot and have a 10 in front of them, which then links the wingers and the strikers together and creates that passing movement lane, dropping in the holes and in the half spaces. There was none of that because we didn't have a 10. We didn't. We played a different formation. We played with a back three with wing backs, which, again, can suit us in certain games, but I don't think today it did. I don't think it helped us whatsoever not having. It didn't even need to be a Cole Palmer. It could have been an Enzo. It could have even been a Pedro Neto, who's played in the 10 before, which he was picking up that space sometimes in the game, but it wasn't where he was situated because we needed to hold the width. And that, for me, was one of the areas that we really struggled to get any momentum out. And then when João Pedro comes on, different ball game. He's occupying that space. He's linking up the play. He's getting on the ball in those half spaces, in those tight areas, and playing these little through balls, these intricate passes. And again, his goal, straight through the middle, picks it up in that 10 role, drives at the defence, slots it in home. Once he was there, it looked a bit better. But still, it just feels dirty, man. It just feels that we got super lucky. But I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it because the result, it does matter. We are through to the next round. It's a confidence booster, especially, we got to see Jesse Derry again, who come on more minutes. Obviously, the fringe players that haven't been playing much did get extra minutes today because they played extra minutes of football in the extra 30 that we got for extra time. So I suppose for them, their legs got a bit of more of a run out. But that fringe side, that B side, there's weaknesses, man. There's weaknesses across board, and the cohesion, the chemistry, it just ain't there. And it's understandable. They don't play enough together, but the gulf in quality between what you would say the starting 11 is to that 11 is massive, man. It is massive, and these players want to be in the starting 11, but I'm not seeing anything from any of them really that warrants a start or even a question mark. But love to get your thoughts on it, guys. I thought Hato was another player that had a really good game. I was actually surprised to see him come off and Cucurella come on, but I suppose at that point we wanted to go out and win the game, so we're throwing on our first teamers to push for the result. In the end, it worked. We got it. 4-2 in the end. Another 4 goals. So that's 8 goals in 2 games. So we're scoring a lot. We are scoring a lot. We are giving away a lot of chances, even to 10-man Wrexham in the end. We were still giving away chances. Not good enough. But I've rambled, guys. I've said my piece. And yes, the performance went great. We've got the result. We move on. Big game. Big game midweek. And it would be a classic Chelsea fashion to play like we did today and go out and play PSG and wipe the floor with them. That's just a Chelsea thing. And I hope we do. And I hope we don't sit and have to talk about this repeated performance against PSG, because they will find the spaces and they will be a lot more clinical with their chances. So we're going to have to be on it from the off. But I back us against PSG. I back us in cup competitions. But like I said, guys, that is all from me. Let me know how you thought this game went. Drop it in the comments below. But for now, guys, take care of yourselves and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.